Good afternoon, everyone. It's piano time. Hello, everyone. It's Miss Stephanie. I'm the music teacher, and this afternoon it's time for our second Suzuki piano lesson. And we are using the Suzuki Piano School Volume 1 New International Edition. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. And that is the book we're using. So, if you haven't gotten that and you haven't gotten the CD or gone to the streaming service or on Amazon, please do so as soon as you can so you can catch up. We haven't gotten too far. We are on Suzuki Twinkle A. Last week we did Variation A. We learned some other things. But first, I would like to invite you to take a moment and subscribe and share the channel, because if you do that, we can beat the algorithms of YouTube and perhaps more people will be able to learn about Suzuki piano with us. And that would be fabulous. And also, if you're interested, we do weekly live lessons on Zoom at 6 o'clock, group classes every Sunday, 6 o'clock Eastern time. And we would love to have you. And it's a chance each week, it's something different. The first week of the month, it's voice. The second week, it's piano. And the third week, the second week, it's ukulele, third week, piano. But I have a schedule up and I'll post it here as well in the About section. So we hope to see you over on Patreon. Okay, so let's get started. I want to do a quick review from last week. Let's hold both hands up. Whether you're an adult or a child, an adult helping a young learner, we all learn the same. Music is a language. So we're going to learn with our ears and with our eyes. Okay, so listen to what I'm saying as well as watch what I'm doing with my hands. Okay, so here we go. Wiggle our ones. This is finger number 1, which is our thumb. Our pinkies are 5. Always, always. Thumbs are 1, pinkies 5. Thumbs are 1, pinkies 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, you can look at our video from last week, our tutorial from last week, and we do a couple of little games and such with our finger numbers to help you sort of remember those. Okay, so I'm going to flip over the camera to the piano today so you can see. Voila. We went over last week how to find C's. And again, if you need to do that, go ahead and check it's Suzuki Piano lesson number 1, because we're on number 2 today. So just go to number 1 and go ahead and rewind, and it'll tell you exactly how to find all of the notes that we're using today, which are C and G are the ones that you really need to be able to find. Okay, last week we went over Twinkle A, Mississippi Hot Dog. We went over the first section. This is part 1. We went over the second section. Starts with your 4th finger on G, and then we use them all. And then we do it again, 4 on G. And then we go back to part 1. There we go. Pinky on A and G and F and E and D and C. Okay, so those were all of the notes we used for Mississippi Hot Dog or Twinkle Variation A. Now, notice that when I put the stickers on the keys, now these are little Post-it notes. Post-it notes will not damage your keys, so you can use these to help. Please do not write on your keys, whether it's a keyboard or a piano or whatever you have. Please don't write on it. It's really helpful to just use these stickers. And these are the ones from Post-it, and they come off very easily and they don't leave any residue on your keys. and you can use them over and over again. Now, notice that I did not put this one's up a little bit too high. Notice where I put it. I didn't put it way up here. So I'm not going to strike the key way up here. This is not where we're going to strike the key. I put it here for a reason. We don't want to be on the very edge, but we don't want to be too close to the black keys. When you're striking the key with whatever hand, whatever finger, we want to be somewhere around in the middle here. Okay, not too close, not falling off the edge. Okay, so we'll find a comfortable spot. It's not an exact thing with every person, but please don't get too close to the black keys, okay? Or else you won't be able to maneuver your way around the way that you need to. So let's go on to the second twinkle, Twinkle B. Let me flip this over so I can talk to you face to face. Okay, friends, Twinkle B sounds like and it's summertime, and there's something wonderful in the summertime, ice cream. So we'll go ice cream cone, ice cream cone, ice cream cone. So if you watch my hand, how my thumb, remember we talked about this last time, that my thumb stands up, not like this, not flat like this, like this. Alligator, alligator, jump, jump, jump. See, just like an alligator. Okay, here we go. We're going to go ice cream cone. Watch my thumb. Notice my shoulders are relaxed and I drop and bounce up. See, that's a bounce. Drop and bounce. Drop, roll, drop. When I say drop, you drop and you bounce off. It's summertime. Have you jumped off a diving board lately? When you jump off a diving board, you go boing like that, and you drop your weight, right? You let all your weight drop onto the diving board. That's what you want to do when you're playing the piano, especially on this twinkle variation. So watch what I'm doing. I roll my wrist in. Hop, roll, hop, hop, roll, hop. Hi, Maggie. Okay, so hop, roll, hop. That's Twinkle B. Guess what? It's the same puzzle as Twinkle A. So listen to this. So we go over the entire first section, right? Just like we did in Mississippi Hot Dog. Then we're going to hit part 2. Same fingers, but we're going to use our ice cream cone rhythm. Hop, roll, hop, hop, roll, hop, hop, roll, hop. We do it again, same thing. Nice relaxed hand. Roll that wrist in. And then guess what we do? We go back to part 1. And resting position. Did you hear something extra special when I used this finger? Remember what we talked about last week? We talked about all of your fingernails being short and how one of mine is a little bit too long. I cut it today, but it's still a little bit too long because I used it to strum. But all of your fingernails cut all of the white so that the flesh is flush here, okay? Otherwise, you will get that sound, and we don't want that because you can't control that finger. Now, we're going to do the left hand, but before sip of water. Now, I encourage you to do the same. I'm going to show you something that I have here today. Do any of you know what this is? If you do, why don't you tell me in the comments section? Do you know what this is called? I'm not going to tell you today. I will circle back and maybe tell you next week. But this is a wonderful, wonderful tool that we piano teachers like to use. And when we're doing Twinkle B, especially, we want this first knuckle to bend this way. See? Not this way. Not, don't have control, have control. So make sure it's not like that. And this is a fun little way to make sure that, look, all your fingers are doing it correctly. So if you have one of these, or if you know what it's called, leave it in the comment section because it's really cool. Now, same thing with your left hand, see? And this happens to be the exact position for holding a string instrument, be it a ukulele or a violin or a cello. This is the same position that you want your fingers in. You don't want this first knuckle to break. Super duper important, okay? All right, here we go. Left hand. So we start with our pinky on Twinkle C. Remember, middle C is where our belly button goes. Check out last week just to be sure you remember that. Let me flip over to the other camera. And here we go. My left hand, my pinky starts on C. Notice I'm not way up here in the black keys. And I'm on my pinky tip. I'm bending my first knuckle. Not straight, bending it. We're going to jump right into ice cream cone. Hop, roll, hop. Okay. So let's do some of this watching from above. Here we go. Wow, that's all of part one. Part two, we start with our number 2 finger on G, just like on Twinkle A. And you can slow this down in the little gear shifter. And then we do part one again. Hop, roll, that wrist up. Hop. Nice, relaxed shoulders. Oh, look what I see to help us today. Who remembers this? Our ladybug. And look, she makes our hand in the perfect position. Oh my goodness. Same with your right hand. Perfect hand position. Oh my, that is excellent. Let me switch this over so we can chat some more. Okay, now those were Twinkle A and Twinkle B. Mississippi hot dog and ice cream cone. Ice cream cone. Relax those shoulders. Drop. Loose arms. Drop. Drop. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next one. Okay, the next one is same exact notes that we played on the last 2 Twinkle variations, only the rhythm changes. Gooseberry, 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 gooseberry. Practice saying that rhythm, and then let's practice playing it. Gooseberry, 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 gooseberry. Notice I'm stopping in between. The tendency is to miss the last berry, the last re, gooseberry, gooseberry. Be sure you stop in between and get all of the berries. So when you practice it this way, it's a process. You may or may not, it depends on your age, and if you've had music before, it may take you a long time to learn these twinkles, meaning it may take you months. You may go through all the twinkles in a couple of weeks. So I'm going to present them to you and you practice them at your pace, okay? So that gooseberry, gooseberry. Here we go. Part 2, our fourth finger is on G. Gooseberry, 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 gooseberry. There it is without the stop in between. Same notes, different rhythm. Watch my left hand, same notes, different rhythm. Gooseberry, gooseberry. Stop in between in the beginning to be sure you get all of the notes. Say it if you need to. Gooseberry, gooseberry. Gooseberry, gooseberry. Next section. That happens twice. And then the beginning happens again. Very good, very good. So if you've gotten this far, you can always go back, rewind. There's a little gear shifter thing on YouTube that you can rewind and go fast and go slow, or you can speed it up and slow it down, but practice along with it. Also, please be sure that you're listening to this on your CD or on your streaming service, okay? Be sure. And I have an app. I have to figure out how to get the app onto YouTube. I'll try to do that today. It's an app for your phone. Oh, I know. I'll put it on one of my other social medias and then I'll post it here for sure. Because I know I can get it on Facebook or yeah, for sure I can get it on Facebook. Okay, so onward and upward. The last variation that we have to do is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. It's just the regular Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Da, da, da. It's just the regular one. So right hand, if you've heard it on your recording, you'll recognize it. Now let's talk about the other ones. Each of them had at least several staccato notes in them. This does not. The idea for this one is for every single note to be played smoothly and connected. No break in between, no naps in between, no stopping in between, no air in between, no space in between. Listen to me walk my fingers. Now, listen to me walk my fingers with space in between. Listen again, please. The first time with no space, legato. Second time with space, non-legato, or the technical term, portato. And then we have staccato, where it's really sharp. We want the exact opposite. Nice and smooth. So the way we do that is we don't lift up that key until after we hit that key. Hit the next key, and then we walk our fingers. Think about it. I know I'm going to cut my head off, but watch when I walk. When I walk, I always have one foot on the ground, right? Whether I'm going forward or backward, one foot is on the ground. That's what you need to do in the piano. You need to have one finger always in a note, holding a note, while you're playing the other one like a seesaw. So listen to mine. My fingers are walking. That's the silent finger exchange. Did you see what I did there? First, I used my thumb, thumb, two, thumb. Now, that's the first part. Let's do the first part of the left hand. Let me do an overhead view of this one. Here we go. Now watch me walk my fingers. They're almost overlapping. See that? Each wrist gets a roll. I squeeze each note with a little bit of a wrist roll. And I did a little bit of a finger exchange at the end there. You don't have to do that. That's a little bit advanced. We can learn that later on. But notice I'm walking my fingers. I'm using my wrist just like I did in Twinkle B with the wrist roll, right? Okay, so that's the way that we do Twinkle D. So next week, that's the Twinkle theme. So you should be looking at them in your book as well as listening to them on your recording. Now, one way that I like for you to listen is to open your book, for instance, I'm going to open it up to the Twinkle theme, okay? And it says left hand, okay? So the Twinkle theme, left hand. And in your book, it should be page 15, pardon me. It should be page 15 in your book. So page 15, and so the left hand there, what I'd like you to do is listen to it and follow along. So you'll do this and point. It'll make sense because you'll see the finger numbers. So that's one way we can listen. It's called active listening. Active listening is a really important way to listen. Be sure that you're listening to the entire CD, not just the twinkles. The other pieces get more and more challenging, and you want to be certain that you've heard them long enough. Now, when I teach piano, I teach the Suzuki method and the traditional method together. So you would also be doing a traditional book at the same time. Right now, I'm teaching Piano Adventures primer, and that lesson happens next, directly after this at 4:30. We'd love to have you come if you're ready. If you're not ready to start reading, then delay it. There's nothing wrong with delaying your reading. Just like with learning a language, you don't learn to read first. You learn to speak first. You would not hold a bunch of words up to an infant and say, read this, kiddo. No, you would not. You'd say, mommy, 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 daddy, 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 over and over and over and over again until they get the words. It's the same idea with Suzuki piano. Play the recordings over and over and over again so they're memorized in their heads. And then when they go to play them, it's much, much easier. And they're learning to play by using what they hear. We keep the reading separate in the beginning. So if you tune into the next class, or just when you're ready to start that reading process, tune in and go ahead and start that. A lot of people don't start it till they're halfway done in book one. Some people wait till the end. Some people start it at the same time. Whatever works for you, works for you. Excellent. Great job today, everyone. And I will see you next time.